I always have to put my lamp in the live stream. Let me move this over some, you all. I know some of you all are watching NBA basketball. I am too. So it is halftime of the Phoenix and LA Lakers game. So I decided to do this quick live stream. And my Lakers fan, put LA in the comment section, whether you are watching this live or on the replay. LA, got that win today over Memphis, even though I do love Memphis as well. But hey, Lakers is my first love. So let's talk about the economy now that I'm finished with sports. And two things I want to address real quick at this halftime break is why you are going to see gas prices increase next month. I've been saying this since the beginning of the year that economists have already said that we're going to see going into traveling season, going into the month of May. We're going to see higher gas prices, right? And now this is more evident, more like the perfect storm of what will cause that, specifically higher gas prices, right? And research then react. I love that. I love that. I love that. Research. I love that name. Research and react. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Do not be addicted to information and education and be allergic to implementation, right? So this is what will happen. This was a quote unquote surprise announcement. Let me get this out of the way. A surprise announcement of the yes, I love that. Research then react. Too many people react first and research, or don't research at all, or research later, right? Too many people react first. In fact, I can chill right here just on your YouTube name. I made a Facebook post about Genesis 1 and 1. The original context of that is in the beginning, Elohim. That's the Hebrew word, right? You have to study the Bible in the purest form of Hebrew and Greek translations. And so the Hebrew word for God there is Elohim, and Elo is feminine, and him, Him, is masculine. And it really shows Genesis 1 and 1 as if it's Genesis 1 plus 1. It shows two entities intertwined, like the infinity sign, that masculine and feminine entity came together and did creation. I know most people want to look at that as one God, but that word is plural for God. You see another plural form of God also in Genesis 11. Let me fix my shirt. Genesis 11, it said the gods came down and people were building the Tower of Babel, right? But I won't get into that. Let me stay on topic. A lot of people reacted to that and, say, oh no. Why do you think we have the name Father Time and Mother Nature? You know, Adam came from the dirt, the ground. The ground, the soil was known as Adama, right? Adama, Father Time is the seed, the harvest. Mother Nature is the ground, the dirt. And so Adam came from Adama, which represents the dirt, the soil of the ground. And the soil is still birthing. It is still birthing now. The soil is still birthing. Agriculture, crop, you put seed in the ground, something's going to grow, whether it's plants, right? Shrubs, whatever. The soil births, the seed pregnates. That's right, 1111 Infinity. Law. I'm so glad you joined my live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I love your energy. OPEC announces surprise oil output cuts. So this was announced earlier this month in April. And so this is going to be the factor that crashes or that's going to further push up the prices of petroleum gas, because you and I know that you use crude oil and petroleum gas. So Saudi Arabia, I want you all to know Saudi Arabia is the biggest, the hugest manufacturer, right, of oil, of oil. And this cut that's happening in the crude oil with Saudi Arabia, and they're making this surprise announcement. They will cut 1.16 billion with a B a day, right? So again, we know that crude oil is used in petroleum gas and so many other factors as well, including fertilizer, as I'm talking about the seed in the soil, right? The S and S come together, make the infinity signs, the one and one, right? The two energies, the yin and the yang, whatever you want to call it, right? Cum laude energy that comes together, right? So now you have fertilizer that's also, most people don't know this, that crude oil is made and put in fertilizer. Why not? It's a commodity that comes from the ground. Also, plastic bags. I went to Best Buy the other day and they asked me that I want to pay 10 cents to get a plastic bag. And I'm like, I have to pay for plastic bags now? They said, yes. I said, of course, I don't want to carry all this in my hand, right? And so you have to pay for plastic bags. I know at Best Buy personally. And so further oil output will be cut next month, right? You see the 1111 and 6 in there, 1.16 million. I think I said billions earlier. So that's fact check me. Correct me on that one. I said billions with the B. No, it's millions with the M. So 1.16 million a day barrels. This was a surprise move. Analyst says it will cause immediate prices in the United States and at visible. Now, the reason why these immediate prices is President Biden has, let me Google this real quick. President Biden has depleted, or he sold a lot of the millions and millions worth of United States strategic, it's called the XPR, Strategic Petroleum Reserve, right? So now the United States, the government, does not have enough XPR, Strategic Petroleum Reserve, in reserve. And so since the 1970s, the United States has maintained a certain XPR, right? Emergency, this is for emergency stockpile of hundreds of millions of barrels of oil and underground storage facilities. Now, the president decided for whatever reason, very discreetly, to sell or quote unquote loan the XPRR reserve in response to disruptive world events. These reserves are usually kept for things such as hurricanes, things such as wars that happen. As we know, there is rumors of War 3 happening right now. And so the Biden administration has made historically, notice I'm saying historically, large withdrawals from the XPR. And so now up to 4.4, you got to see the numbers 4.4. 4.4 represents the earth realm, as Elon Musk purchased Twitter for $44 billion. Jesus, in the parable in the Bible, there were 4 types of soil, right? 4 kingdoms in Daniel chapter 7, 4 kingdoms. By the 4th day, 4 things were created: light, liquid, land, life. Seed was now able to convert into vegetation, life bearing fruit, and liquid. So we had the ocean and seas created by the 4th day, the number 4. There's 4 seasons, right? Winter, spring, summer, fall, 4 directions, and which we get the acronym news from, which is north, east, west, and south. And we know the news provides us the news from globally, right? The 4 corners of the earth mentioned in the Bible, the 4 heads of the angels of the cherubim, right? What's representation in the earth realm? There's 4 levels of leadership. You have your local leaders, your experts, your area leaders, and your living legacies. You think about Kobe Bryant and things of that nature. Heroes from afar, right? The number 4, 4 types of ether in the earth realm, 4 developments. You have your earth, your dirt. You have your air and wind, right? And then you have fire and water. You have your dirt again, your earth, your air and your wind, and your fire and water. Four again. And so 4.4 billions, up to 4.4 billions can be withdrawn per day. That's about a quarter of the daily U.S. consumption. So with the $1.16 million cut in the United States alone, right? Again, Saudi Arabia is the largest exporter of crude oil to the United States, right? And globally around the world. So the United States consumes about a quarter of daily 4.4 barrels per day, million of crude oil. The oil takes about 2 weeks to reach the market. So now, with this cut coming about next month, we're going to see prices increase at the gas pump. We're going to see, I've seen gas stations already that's installing new signage, new signs, and I saw 9999 and double digits that were while they were testing this as the installation of these new signatures, new signs are able to now have double digit displays for gas prices. In the West Coast, you already see gas prices already for regular that's hovering or averaging around $4-5 a gallon. I think the national average right now for gas prices is approximately $3.60 something cent, almost $3.70. So my message is always with the 11:11 coming from Joshua 1 and 11 to prepare your provisions. Joshua 1 and 11 says to prepare your provisions. And this is why I talk to you all about cryptocurrency that has perpetuity income attached. Perpetuity income attached. I'm not talking about getting these cash value life insurance policies or accounts or these crowdfunding type land banking accounts that may give you a 30 to 35% return on a year. That's not going to be enough for where we're about to face, for the inflation we're about to see. In fact, Bitcoin since January has already given you, let me look sure. Bitcoin is up 85. I was about to say, I said 30K. That's what I meant to say. But it's up 85% this year alone. So why would you subdue yourself to 35% annually increase when you could have had your cash growing in a commodity based, decentralized cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, for example, that went from 16,000 to begin the year with in January, now up to 30,000 people. That's 85%. Now, I tell people, however, I have other cryptocurrencies as I'm talking to you all about these increase of gas prices that we're going to see in May, about crude oil shortage. You all know about supply and demand. So once the supply is cut, that increases the demand of it. And as the demand increases for real world commodities, things that have real use cases, things that we consume and need and have to use, right? Have to use on a daily basis. I just said the United States alone, 4.4 million barrels of crude oil today. Then why not have these cryptocurrencies right now that are under a cent, really pennies on the dollar, where you can come in at a very low entry cost with a high future reward potential based on what we're hearing from OPEC and what we are hearing that's going to happen moving forward in this economy. In fact, the black gold, also known as Texas tea, right? Crude oil, right? Not the yellow gold, but black gold is at 0.005 under a penny right now. And so you have these other crypto commodities that are linked to real world commodities. Anyone that knows the difference between USD and cash versus real wealth knows that real wealth is something that is not able to corrode or it holds its intrinsic value because it's not man-made, right? It's not man-made. It's God-made. It's God-made. It's the infinite intelligence made, right? And so I want to tell you all about these while you can still get in and get the highest future return, because right now with Bitcoin being $30,000, most people, and I may show this interview by Jeremiah Da Vinci, who got into Bitcoin when it was under $1, right? Getting in under a penny in this situation will grow your money at a faster pace, right? Once the uptick in future returns of gains kick in because of your low cost entry point. In other words, how cheap it is, right? The only thing that's in over a penny right now is the DebtBot token. The DebtBot is an acronym for decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology. That is to be compared to a BNB, Binance, the largest crypto exchange, and Ethereum, which is the brain, right, of this crypto-based economy system that's coming in, or cyber money, right, that's coming in, or digital money, whatever you want to call it. But I want you all to know that inflation causes poverty. So printing this money, as the United States is over $32 trillion of debt, printing money makes some people richer, right? And for others, it's going to make them poor. For millions, it's going to make them poor because it's going to cause inflation. Inflation is the high prices of your everyday goods and services, especially things like gas and groceries. So now you need things that appreciate in value. You need your network increase, right? You need things that are real world use cases, because during this bull run with cryptocurrency, only things that have real world use cases is going to increase in value. The question is, how much more fake money can our government print? Well, they can print as much as they want as long as people will work for it. So this is God's money. This is God's wealth. And it's very easy to acquire. This is yellow gold. This is gold, which is real money. And the Constitution is real money. And before the government created the Bretton Woods system in 1944, paper dollars had gold and silver certificates written on them, where you can take the paper to the banks and retrieve it for the physical gold, right? And retrieve it for the physical gold. Okay, I see you, OTR Financial. He says he loved driving on the road. He's a truck driver, but he don't want to drive for his lifetime, right? He does not want to be a part of the 40-40 plan. Work 40 hours a week, right? Work 40 hours a week for 40 years, only to retire off 40% of the money that you were making when you were working. So that's why retirement doesn't work, because the money that you were making is cut by 40%. I got you, black gold. I love how black gold is accumulating. And with this news from OPEC, it is a very smart move to get in black gold right now. The next step right now for the IMF, International Monetary Fund, is to issue a special drawing rights. It's called the SDR, right? This is a global currency, you all. Special drawings right. SDR, and in effect, more fake money, right? Meanwhile, what the rich and wealthy are doing, they are warehousing things like real gold. But buying gold and silver mines, being able to get into these commodities, and it's hard because usually they only allow people that are accredited investors get in. Meaning that you have to have an income of over $250,000 or more yearly. You have to be accredited. So now you have natural gas people. When you're pumping gas at the gas pump, wouldn't you like to have an asset that's growing right along with the price of gas? Don't you want to have an asset that is deflationary against the price of gas instead of being at the gas pump complaining about gas prices? Do I have a course to learn this? I do not have a course, but I do have more information for you if you want to learn this, because you cannot get this on any exchange, such as Binance or crypto.com. You have to be a member. I can text you more information and how to get a membership so you can get access. So I just came in Thanksgiving of last year, right? 2022. Already my portfolio balance since then is at $67,636. So you have NatG, natural gas. You have Grow, which is high yielding agriculture, right? Grow is supported by weed, hemp, for people that like to have plant-based herbal healing remedies, right? A lot of health benefits in weed and hemp, and cocoa as well. Also, you have cocoa plants, and you also have cocoa chocolate that I eat for health reasons as well. Also, soybeans, rice, all of this. 10,000 acres of land acquired in Ghana to help the farmers there now be able to harvest 3 times a year, where the farmers were previously or in the past only able to harvest once a year during the rain season. So you have all these high yielding agriculture and crops supported by this Grow crypto. And this is XPLR. I know it sounds like XRP, but it's not XRP. It's XPLR. XPLR is the satellite technology. Excuse me, the satellite technology. I should have brought me some water in here. That finds these commodities in the earth realm, very eco-friendly, where you're not mining and digging for feet and feet within the earth and not able. Give me a second. I think I need to get me some water. And you're not coming up with the commodities in it, right? You're not finding the commodities. And speaking of getting water, that was very on cue, because there's a new crypto that was just recently released called Drip, that provides rainwater. Oh, I think my camera switched on. Give me a second. That provides rainwater and purified water, especially in third world countries as well. And third world countries. So we have the Drip token. Let me see if it's showing up, because I do have some Drip. I don't think it's showing up quite yet. These are all the digital software licenses that I have. As you can see, I have 10 of the Black Gold licenses, 10 of the Drip. Again, this is the newest one. It just started mining already. 7,397 licenses have been sold. So you are, in essence, making a one-time purchase that can give you perpetuity income, continuity cash flow, perpetual income, people, for life. For life. We know about how to make earned income, right? This is my Grow license. Over 50,000 have been sold up to date. This is the amount of USD that if I wanted to liquidate, that I'm earning on a daily basis. You can see the USD also $336 of my mining balance. But this is the amount of tokens I have. So people, as this price increase that's showing 36 cents, right? For me, it's about accumulation right now. It's about accumulation. I'm sorry, the market value right now is 46 cents. So this is not under a penny, but the more tokens, right, that I continue to obtain through mining, and I get rewarded through mining daily. If I want to liquidate, I can, but I won't, because I want to accumulate. And as this, again, future high rewards potential, as the market value increase on this, my capital gains, if I decide to cash out and liquidate, I still have tokens that's perpetually refilling the bucket, people. I always reference the 2 Kings chapter 4 woman. As long as she had her jugs, her that her sons went and got, she poured out, and it did not stop until she ran out of jugs. People, this will not stop. Once you have a license, you have a minimum of 10 years of perpetual refilling. That's not something you can have access to in the traditional crypto market. Once you sell your Bitcoin, it's gone. Once you sell it for your capital gains, it's gone. And once you sell it, you may not ever get it at that price point again. You may not ever get it at that low price again. Here you are accumulating low with a very high uptick potential of high rewards. That's the difference between mining, its accumulation and growing, versus just buying outright whatever you can afford and holding. It's a perpetual income stream, people. Continuity cash flow. And so I love that concept of it. When I learned about that versus buying and holding versus trying to make sure I can scrape up enough money. I love dollar cost average, but people, you have to think about when the price of gas and groceries increase starting this month. That's going to eat at your budget. So how much free money can you find when you're fighting against inflation? Last thing is I take a sip of that water. So if you want to know more about purchasing these digital software that get you perpetuity income, continuity cash flow for a lifetime, text CC to 331-444-5556. So with the total volume cuts by OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, and with Russia and other allies, people, there will be 3.66 barrels, right? That's equal to a almost 4% of a global demand of shortage that's going to happen. And again, this is going to happen starting May. This was, quote unquote, a surprise announcement, again, following a meeting 14 days ago. So let me show you the graph so it can definitely make sense. Again, you all, you'll come in, hit the like and hit the share button, please, and share this information. You see Saudi Arabia, OPEC announced April 2nd, voluntary cut their oil production. 500,000. This is per day. Surprise move, they said, making the market, United Arab 144,000, Kuwait 128,000, Iraq 211,000. Then you have Oman 40,000. And people after this, Algeria 48,000, and Kazakhstan, I can't pronounce it, 78,000. This is going to start May, and it's going to last, people, until the end of 2023. Until the end of this year. And they're saying this is a surprise. So this is why, right? And that black gold, digital and crypto I just showed you all, right? These reductions are going to lift oil prices. So black gold was released November of 2021 when crude oil hit its all-time high of June of 2022, over $150 a barrel. People, 100 millionaires were made because they were accumulating these black gold cryptocurrency tokens, right? The name of the game again is about accumulation for further appreciation. Just get as much token, get it on autopilot, let it mine, let it work fast, and just let it work for you passively, right? And then that way, when you cash out, you have it automatically filling back in. The last thing I want you all to hear Dave's Ramsey response to FedNow. If you don't know what FedNow is, it is a digitalized system for banks and credit union to usher in the central bank's digital currency. And so I found a video with Dave Ramsey commenting on this. He's a big advocate for cash. So as physical cash is seeming to streamline and move its way out, I really want to hear Dave respond to that, because he pushes people to stay in cash. Do not leverage cash as a way to acquire assets, right? And I believe that a lot of his philosophy is making the poor poorer and the middle class poorer as well, because he don't teach about real assets. He don't teach about real estate. He don't teach about crude oil. He doesn't teach that gold and silver is real money. So let's listen in.
Which goes against a lot of what your programs are for. Please correct me. Today's question comes from Caleb in Georgia. What do you think about the new FedNow and centralized banking that's soon happening in the US? What I commonly see is that they're gunning to take away cash, which goes against a lot of what your programs are for. Please correct me where I'm wrong. I'm still learning more about it, but I'm curious to see what you have to say.
Well, the Fed has announced this, and there are really two components of it that matter. The first one is that they're going to modernize an antiquated banking system. Today, when you, for instance, deposit a check, it takes 3 to 10 days for that check to clear the other bank. In a digital world, that should take 3 to 10 seconds for your check to be bouncing or good. When I put your check in my account or vice versa, or I make a transfer to your account, it shouldn't have to sit there 3 days to be verified. It ought to be able to just reach over to the other bank, find out if you've got some freaking money in there, and take it out and move it over to your bank. That's how a check's supposed to work. And that system is operating like the 1930s right now, and they're trying to move it into the digital world. That is, as far as I can tell, 100% positive, what I understand of it. The second piece is they're talking about issuing digital dollars, which they already do. So I don't understand. I mean, they're not saying they're going to do away with cash. They're saying they're going to offer digital dollars. Well, let me help you, George. When we move money from your account to my account, and you don't use actual physical dollars to go to the branch and make a deposit, you have, by definition, moved digital dollars, baby. That's what they are.
Yeah, most transactions in today's world are digital.
Like 98% are digital. They're not cash transactions.
They're not actually shipping boatloads of hard cash
to other banks. There's a whole lot more money in our economy with digital transfers flowing around, currency, it as a current, than cash. And they're not talking about doing away with cash in this proposal. Nothing I've read anywhere, except maybe some dark web conspiracy theories, say they're trying to do away with cash. Now, the downside is if they actually issue a template, which is what they're talking about doing, it's almost a crypto of sorts of the dollar, is what it amounts to. They're going to issue you a digital transaction that's different than the digital transactions that we do now. The downside is, the fear is that they'll start controlling those digital
government overreach. Yeah. That's the worry.
Exactly. Like ESG, for instance, they're going to try to say, okay, if you're not going to be woke, you're not going to be able to use your digital dollars. Or if we wanted to ration gasoline, you're not going to be able to use your digital dollars, but you can only use 50 digital dollars to buy gas. And then you have to come up with other dollars of your own.
Now, this part I want to pause on, right? He's telling you the control, the ramifications of using digital dollars. Now, he's saying, well, this is going to be an option for people. And most people are going to be so desperate, right? By the time this inflation kick in, they're not investing in things that are outside of the government system, like gold, like silver. And I have different opinions about gold and silver, about these crypto linked commodities, right? I do want you all to know that Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only two cryptocurrencies right now that are deemed a commodity. So we have digital commodities. And I tell everybody right now, even if you are upper middle class, I suggest silver and copper, because gold is a hedge against inflation, meaning that very rich and wealthy people roll over their cash into gold so they're not losing their purchasing power. Because as prices spike and go higher, so will gold, so will silver, so will copper. Also, there's a aluminum linked crypto that I have. I don't think I showed that, because commodities will rise when and Robert Kiyosaki calls this Grisham's law, when fake money, right, is driven out the economy, real money will rise up. When fake money is driven in, however, real money is then suppressed. But now real money, God's money, has to rise to the occasion as we're transitioning to a new world economic system. As one of my mentors say, right, wholeheartedly, it makes 0%. I mean, it makes no sense to have 0% of God's money, but 100% of man's money, of government's money. I don't think I showed you all the aluminum linked crypto as well. So I'll share this screen. You see the Queen of Coins silver up, right? Because you can get silver right now for $35, under $35 an ounce. Everyone should be able to afford silver. That is simply cutting back on your Starbucks, right? A day. So let's listen to Dave Ramsey. Just cutting back on a Starbucks, just making small changes to put your money to things that can grow with perpetuity, continuity cash flow. And so that you can not only survive during this recession, but you can thrive as well. So most people, as the IMF says, you will own nothing and be happy. Most people will be forced to have these digital currencies, because they're not investing, they're not converting their cash into real world assets. So let's listen to Dave again.
They're going to try to say, okay, if you're not going to be woke, you're not going to be able to use your digital dollars. Or if we wanted to ration gasoline, you're not going to be able to use your digital dollars, but you can only use 50 digital dollars to buy gas. And then you have to come up with other dollars of your own, black market dollars. No, it's not how it works. Okay. But that's the fear that's out there. DeSantis and Kennedy both came out against this on the basis that the central bank could overreach their use of this as control. And if they try to use it for ESG stuff, I would agree. If they're trying to control currency and trying to invoke some kind of power over it, I think that would be a problem. But I won't have all of my money in their digital dollars. I'll just have it in digits in my account.
And they're not going to force people to use these digital dollars.
They couldn't. It's the conversion to that would require a complete overhaul of the way we do everything in our economy.
Nightmare.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
If you went from let's say you had to have a certified number to move money to Venmo, or to just to reach over and move money from your savings into your checking so you could cover your Pizza Hut bill, right? Or whatever it is. That this would be the number of transactions this would involve would be so large that for government to get their arms around it and control it, I don't think it would be possible on scale. I mean, it would have to be some kind of real fascism, which honestly, some of the ESG stuff approaches fascism at times because they've got this.
Well, they're assigning values to your money.
They're like religious zealots in a sense to push their agendas, and they'll stop at nothing to do that. But and that's of course DeSantis and Kennedy's argument is to keep the central bank, not their job to invoke social change.
So you hear him mention DeSantis and Kennedy. He's talking about Robert Kennedy, the nephew of John F. Kennedy, JFK. We know JFK, or if you've been following me, you know JFK came out with Executive Order 1111, the 4 ones, right? It's why 1111 on my prosperity numbers. So many financial lessons, even biblically in 1111. But Executive Order 1111. 0, and I think the year was 1963, and then exactly 11/22, November 11, he was assassinated. He wanted to bring silver back to the currency system. I have taught on the Wizard of Oz, how the Wizard of Oz break down with the yellow brick road, the gold standard. Oz is for ounces in gold and silver. Dorothy had on silver shoes, silver slippers, and for colorized television's sake, they changed it to ruby red. And just so many. The emerald green city represents the greenback, the tin man, the industrial age, also aluminum. I have aluminum crypto as well to offer you all. And so just so many lessons, right? As Tito and the hurricane and the tsunami, all of that. And many people will be forced. Now, Dave Ramsey said the government cannot force people to take on CBDCs, but history does not repeat itself, but it usually have a little twist. Because if Dave Ramsey was saying this in the 1930s, he would be saying the government cannot force people to turn in their gold, to turn in their money, but that's exactly what the government did. If you did not turn in your gold, which is real money, right, which we have we have central banks that's accumulating, stockpiling, China, more gold ever. If gold is not money, then why do the banks want it? Why do countries who want to dominate in power and in wealth, why are they accumulating at record number highs? If Dave Ramsey teaches that gold is just a shiny piece of metal, why did the government confiscate people's gold in 1930s, the real money? In fact, the United States, we don't know how much gold that Fort Knox have. It hasn't had any accounting in years. So we don't know how rich or wealthy the United States have, but we do know countries like China, countries that rule Saudi Arabia, that rule in these commodities, are the ones that have the financial position and the financial power, because commodities is real wealth, not monopoly money, not printed money. And so also my website, I'm about to order this right now. You can definitely go to Queen of Coin Silver, peruse the website. I think I said I was going to order these last live stream, and I honestly forgot. This is where you can see where dollars used to say silver certificate. That's how gold and silver is real money, right? Gold certificate. So these are your silver pieces. Again, silver, gold, aluminum. There's a global shortage. These are both industrial use, right, as well. So you can definitely get these at wholesale prices versus retail prices. And the crypto link in the digital world, so you can be outside the government system. Dave Ramsey mentioned he will have his money somewhere else. So I hope you have your money into commodities and real wealth. This is the aluminum crypto link, which is a global shortage on aluminum right now. So I definitely have this in my portfolio. This is beverage. This is beer, wine and spirits, water, tea, coffee, energy drinks, all combined. If you know anything about the story of 50 Cent, 50 Cent got rich off of vitamin water. From vitamin water, he got billionaire from investing in vitamin water. So you have beverage that has accumulation of drinking. This is located in Mississippi. I'm not a beer drinker, right? But you don't have to be a beer drinker. You can make royalty income when people drink beer. The owner of Kibbles and Bits does not eat dog food. I can guarantee you he doesn't. So you don't have to. In fact, they had testing stations. We went to visit this site on demand. I'm not a beer drinker, but the Southern Pecan beer, it was very good. Right? We got to meet some of the drinkers, some of the members, some of the supporters there. It was beverage day, very nice, so that we know that these are actual projects. Not some type of rug pull or where people are saying they have these projects, saying they are accumulating these commodities, and they're not. These black gold, even in South Africa, they have locations in Nebraska, and they are increasing in their oil wells, right? Natural gas, right? The mining. In fact, the XPLR technology has a contract with Google Earth to scan the earth realm, like if you were going to the doctor for an MRI for your body, scan the earth realm and find and see where these commodities are in a very eco-friendly way, where it's not destructive to the universe. The preciseness of this technology. That's why it's called DET, the decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology. You want decentralized and you want blockchain technology, crypto. And what a better way to be able to liquidate your coins and accumulate simultaneously at the same time. So as you cash out, you have perpetuity tokens and continuity cash flow cashing in. All right, you all, I'm signing out, right? I think I went an hour on this live stream. I only mean it. I always do that. Again, make sure you are subscribed to me on YouTube. Hit that like and share button. And let's prepare for the greatest wealth transfer in human history. Let's get your commodities up, your crypto up. So again, you can survive and thrive in this economy. Peace. You all have a great Sunday night. Queen out.